Hey, it's Chunk here with a new CG Cookie tutorial. In this video, let's crush a few cold ones. If you like today's video, head on over to cgcookie.com where we have an endless stream of fantastic Blender learning resources with amazing instructors and fellow artists willing to help you out. Check it out, can't wait to see you there. So now once you have your can in your project, let's take a look at pre-denting this guy. I'm going to select it and go into edit mode, and we can see this mesh here is a subdivision surface mesh, so it's going to be a little bit easier to select some vertices. And what I want to do is create a vertex group first, which we can use with a displacement modifier. So go ahead and select a couple of the middle loops here for the can. And once you've got your selection, head on over to the Object Data Properties panel, and let's go and create a new vertex group for this. So we can hit the plus button there. I'm going to call this dense. And with all of those vertices selected, let's go ahead and assign this with a weight of 100. And just to make sure that we have this selected, I'm going to deselect everything. And with this vertex group here, let's go ahead and select. And if it's all popping back up, we've got it selected. So now that's going to set us up perfectly for what we're going to want to do next, which is actually adding these dents to the can. Let's head back to our modifiers and add a displace modifier. So we're going to use this to displace the mesh to get some of those pre-dents. So obviously we're not going to want it to be this strong, and we're not going to want it to be, this kind of uniform displacement. Let's go and just turn this down to 0 for now. And I'm going to create a new texture element here. And I'm going to call this dense. Let's head on over to our texture parameters here. And let's change this from an image or movie texture to a stoochy. I think it's stoochy, stucky. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And so this is going to give us some of this warbly noise here, but we do want to alter it a little bit because it's too soft. And actually, if I come back to the modifiers here, negative 0.005, you can see that it's pretty soft, and it's going to just kind of inflate everything like we just had. So in order to make this sharper, let's go and change the pattern type from soft to hard. And that's going to be a good start. But again, the noise is just a little bit too large, so it's really not showing up as nicely on our mesh. So if I start to bring this down, you can see it's going to kind of warp and warble our mesh here a little bit. And a value that I found worked for this particular mesh is 0.04. You can see we're getting some of those nice kind of sharp creases and some of those indentations. And again, because we've done a negative value on our displace here, it's going to kind of push things inwards a little bit. That's looking pretty cool. But you'll notice that we're getting some of this weirdness up at the top, right? It's kind of intersecting with itself, and it's just really not going to look too good. And that's why we've gone ahead and created that vertex group, because here in the modifier, if I go ahead and select dense, I'm going to leave those alone, and we're only going to get that kind of creasing or denting in the body of the can. So that's looking like a good start, but now we want to get to the actual crushing part, right? Well, we have to do a little bit of setup for that, but it's going to be pretty flexible on how we're actually doing that. So I want to make sure that I've set my 3D cursor to the origin there. And let's go and add a lattice object. And now in object mode, I just want to scale this all down to kind of fit pretty tightly to the bounding box of this can here, so that we're going to get something pretty close to the actual shape of this can here. And now we can go ahead and select our can here and go and add a lattice modifier. And let's go ahead and select this lattice here, so that now when we go ahead and move this lattice, you can see the can is going to crush very nicely with the movement of the lattice. But you'll notice that we actually have some floating bits up at the top here, and that's specific to this mesh. And the reason that is that these are unique objects. So we could go ahead and select both of these and then select the can and hit Ctrl-J to join them. But I don't want to actually make them one object. I want to keep them separately. So a way we can do this while keeping the objects separate is by adding this lattice modifier onto both of these pieces here. And a quick and easy way we can do that is by selecting both of these pieces and then selecting the can last to make it our active object. So I can come over to the lattice modifier, click this little drop down, and do copy to selected. So now this modifier is going to be on both of these pieces here. And if I go ahead and move the lattice, it should work accordingly. Now the final thing I want to do for this lattice is just go ahead and select it. And I want to add a loop cut on the Z axis here. Now for the lattice, it works in UVW coordinates, which basically means X, Y, Z. So on the W here, let's go ahead and bring this up to 3. So we have a bit of a middle point, so it's not sinking through the ground as we're bringing this down. And now if I go ahead, select our top row, I want to go and turn on proportional editing. And if I bring this down on the Z axis, again, scaling in my proportional editing here, we can see that I can get a pretty nice crush, which is going to look really cool. And again, it's going to be enhanced by that displacement we did early in the video. And now once you've gone ahead and crushed your can, you might notice it looks a little low resolution. So coming back to the modifiers, what we can do is, one, increase the resolution of our subdivision surface modifier. But another really cool modifier that's going to help kind of smooth things out, well, it's going to be in the name alone. It's going to be the smooth modifier. So at the bottom of my stack, let's go and add a smooth modifier here. And I'm going to bring the factor up to 1. So it's going to be smoothing at an intensity, we'll say, of 1. And you can see just the difference between what the smoothing is going to do on and off. And you can also increase the repeat to give you multiple smoothing iterations. Now you don't want to do it too high because again, you want this to look a little bit sharp and jagged, and it can kind of start to look like cloth a little bit. But I think around 1 or 2 is going to help you just beef up that resolution. And you can see we've got some really cool looking details for our can. Now the real cool thing about how we built this crushed can is that it's relatively non-destructive. So we can go ahead and tweak a couple things here and there to really get that look we want. Like going into that displacement texture that we had created with the Displaced Modifier and tweaking the turbulence to maybe get a bit of a different random seed or different kind of pattern disorder to move those crust features around. Another thing we can do is add some points to our lattice and actually start pushing and pulling and moving various parts of the can so that it's not just super round and it looks a little bit more destroyed. The really cool thing is that you don't even need to go ahead and crush it this way. You can go ahead and turn your can, add some more cuts to your lattice, and really just push things around to get totally unique cans that again are pretty much totally non-destructive. And with these modifiers, you're going to have a lot of different parameters you can play with to get a whole bunch of different looks.